Hi, I'm ready to talk about the cheesecake. Okay, trying this again. Cheesecake is like the perfect dessert for when it first starts to get chilly outside and the weather is just abysmal. It's pretty damn good. Of course, always having to whisper because the only time I ever really get a break to sit down and film stuff like this, where I'm talking and it's relatively quiet, is when my toddler is sleeping, which she is currently doing right now. But because of our limited space, I have to be pretty quiet so I don't wake her up, hence the mic. But yeah, I made a cheesecake. So our friends invited us to a Friendsgiving get-together, and as soon as we got an invitation, I was thinking about what we were gonna make, and I thought this cheesecake would be a good thing to bring. So I made this cheesecake, and I adapted this recipe from Sally's Baking Addiction using a base recipe that I typically use for plain cheesecakes that I've been pretty happy with in the past. So there's two parts to the main body of this cheesecake. There is a plain portion and there's a pumpkin flavored portion, and they're swirled together. So for the pumpkin part, you just end up adding a little bit of pumpkin and spices to the plain base, and then separately, and then you swirl them together. Sometimes for pumpkin cheesecakes, you'll get recipes for ginger snap crusts, and I think those can be excellent, but I wanted to use up some of the pantry items that we had on hand already. So I used graham cracker, which is your traditional cheesecake crust, added some spices to it, and it turned out pretty well. So it's graham crackers and melted butter and cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, a little bit of allspice. Yeah, that's it. And then you take your graham crackers and you make sure that they are smashed up really finely, and then you bake those in the bottom of your pan. Good morning. We are gonna finish making the cheesecakes today. So I've got a bunch of the ingredients out on the counter. They are coming to room temperature. That's gonna make it easier to mix the batter. And then, and the toppings and everything. So yeah, let's get going. And then for the filling itself, you take cream cheese, sour cream, eggs, heavy cream, vanilla, sour cream. I think that's it. Mix it together. And then you take out 2 cups of that when it's all mixed together, and you add some pumpkin puree and spices. So again, I use the same spices as that I used in the crust. And to get the swirl effect, you take the plain cheesecake batter and the pumpkin cheesecake batter that you've mixed separately. And you sort of mix those together so that you can get like a swirl effect. It's really easy to end up with the batter totally mixed together and you can't see any distinction between the two. That's not what you want. So you want to be careful to keep them separate and then just swirl very, very lightly. And I'll show how I did that to make sure to keep the two different layers distinct. I was simultaneously making a pumpkin pie that I thought might be a backup dessert that I was going to bring to Friendsgiving. I didn't end up making it, but I did make the crust. And out of that crust, I made these fall themed decorations. Again, that was a recipe from Sally's Baking Addiction, and I'll also link that in the description box below. Probably should have picked a day where it's not 80 degrees inside our apartment to try and make pie crust. When I had gotten done making the cheesecake, I knew I was going to top it with whipped cream. I didn't know what else I was going to add. I was thinking dried fruit, but I didn't have any cranberries. To top it off, I used baked spiced pumpkin seeds that were really easy. So it's raw pumpkin seeds, egg whites, sugar, and some spices, the same fall spices I've been talking about. Bake them on a pan at 300 for like 30 minutes. Stir them 3 times or so. And that was it. They're super easy. And I also had these little Valrhona crisp pearls, which are little white chocolate covered crunchy bits. They do give it like a very finished look. Anyway, that's about it for the cheesecake. I made 2. One is mini, as you can see, and the other one that I made that we took to Friendsgiving was an 8-inch cheesecake. And the recipe I was using was for a 9-inch pan, so I knew I was going to have extra batter and crust. That's why I went ahead and just reserved some to make the smaller one. So it turned out really well. I'm happy that I did that. And what else is there to say? It's cheesecake. If you guys are interested in checking out the recipe, it's in the description box below. I enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed following along and seeing what the process was like. Let me know if you guys want to see more recipe videos. Just leave a comment below. And yeah, that's it for now. Bye. It's good. It's cheesecake. Oh, what did I step on?